Welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be doing a kind of a mix between a chatty get ready with me, and I'm also going to be showing you guys my go-to makeup look over the last couple of weeks. I wouldn't really call this a no makeup look, but it certainly is pretty quick, pretty easy, just a quick look to get you put together, but not necessarily a lot of steps or fully made up or anything. So it's a pretty basic everyday makeup look, is that what we shall call it? I am going to get my hair back, don't worry. I did a video not that long ago and my hair was freshly washed just like it is today, and I cannot count how many comments I got about how distracting it was that I was messing with my hair, so my apologies. Yeah, and my hair just, when it's freshly washed, it just gets in my face, so we have it pulled back. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I did prep my skin. I have a little bit of brows on because I dropped the kids off this morning, and I have to put something on my brows before I leave. So for foundation, I'm using my Dior Forever foundation. I talked about this in my monthly favorites video. I have been loving this foundation. It definitely is more of a like makeup foundation, like that didn't really make sense. It's definitely more of kind of like a made up look. It doesn't look super natural, but it doesn't look heavy either. But if you're going for a very natural makeup look, this is probably not the one I would recommend. But if you want like a coverage that lasts all day, that doesn't look heavy, and that has like a natural matte finish, I love this one. All right, so I'm just gonna apply it with my IT Cosmetics brush. Okay, so I want to update you guys. It is summertime, and I have to warn you, my schedule this summer is probably going to be a little wonky. I basically am just filming when I can. You know, the kids are out of school, so I don't have as much time to film. We have a few camps booked throughout the summer, but there are certainly weeks where we don't have any camps, and I'm with the kids all day. So those are the weeks that things might be a little bit different, but I'm trying to like they're in camp this week and I'm trying to film as much as I can so that I have content to edit over the next several weeks. So just bear with me, you guys. I didn't want to. Last summer, I booked so many camps for them because I was trying to cover myself to work. And I don't know, I didn't want to do that this summer. I wanted them to be busy, but I also wanted to have a lot of time with them because Kate is going to kindergarten next year, or not next year, but in a couple months in August. And I don't know, it just kind of makes me feel like it has flown by so fast. And, you know, I'm going to have all the time in the world in a couple of months. So I just wanted to have, you know, I just wanted to really make this summer, really wanted to spend a lot of time with them this summer. And I didn't want to stress about videos and work and stuff. So I like this foundation because it blends into the skin really, really well and easy. It blends really quick and easy. So it's, even though it is a foundation that I feel like I want to wear, like I wear this during the day and I also wear this at night when I wear it for like special events. Like I judged the Miss Austin pageant this past weekend, and this is the foundation that I wore because I knew I could count on it to look good all day long. Right. Now I did apply a little bit of the Color Science Total Eye Renewal this morning, this guy right here, just to give myself a little bit of coverage for dropping out the kids off at camp, but I am going to go and add a little more concealer. Okay, so life updates. By the way, I'm using the MAC 24-Hour Studio Fix Concealer. I love this stuff. I've been using it for the last several weeks. I love it. What has been going on? Okay, so I have been going through a little bit of a funk lately. I feel like I go through these little funks every, I don't know, maybe a couple times a year I do. And they're always temporary and I always like pull myself out of it, but I've kind of been in one. And it's, you know, with being a YouTuber and what we do, it's a very, for me at least, I mean, I can't speak for everyone, but for me, there's like this ongoing kind of like pull and tug, I feel like. And sometimes it weighs me down and sometimes I'm like moving and grooving. But when it weighs me down, I find myself kind of like pulling back a little bit. And what am I trying to say? Okay. I go through these funks a couple times a year, to be totally honest, you guys. I go through this funk a couple times a year where I feel like with YouTube, here's how my approach to it is, you know, yes, it's my job, you know, like, yes, this is my job. But I try not to let it feel that way. And, you know, when I find, like, for example, this summer, you know, I've kind of been stressing like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to have my 3 videos every week or my 2 videos. You guys have probably noticed I've been down to 2 videos recently and they've kind of been random. Like I used to upload Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, and sometimes it's like Monday and Friday. It's just all over the place. And anytime I find myself like letting like stressing myself out about it, I just take a step back and I'm like, why am I stressing out about this? You know, it's not that serious, Lisa. You know what I mean? And I am very fortunate that this is my job, I guess, but I don't ever want it to feel like that. You know what I mean? And when I find myself, and the beauty of it is that it is so flexible and that I make my rules. I decide when I upload, I decide what videos I do, you know, and I just try and remember that because I don't want it to feel like a job. I don't want to feel like, oh, I've got a deadline, or it's just this like delicate struggle. And I don't know, I've kind of been going through that the last month. And I think it's because my schedule's been so thrown off that I don't have the luxury of being so regimented with my filming. People ask me sometimes, they're like, oh, do you know, like people that are interested in doing YouTube or that are curious, they ask if I ever stress out. I got asked the other day if I stress out about my content. And I'm like, no, I really don't. If I find myself doing that, I just try and remind myself to not stress out about it. It's not that big of a deal. So I don't know. And you know, I see other channels that they're on a schedule. They're very reliable. And I find myself like, I need to be like that. I need to be like that. And I was like that at some points, and I'll probably be like that again in the future when I have more time. But I've just accepted that right now, that's not me. That's not my channel right now. I will get there. What it comes down for me ultimately is, like, I love YouTube and I love uploading content here for you guys. But if I feel like it's stressing me out or causing me anxiety, or if I find myself like I'm so distracted by it that it's affecting my patience level with my kids, or it's affecting my time with my kids when they are with me, and I can't work it into the time that they're in camp or at school or at nighttime, then I just take a step back and I'm like, it's okay. It's going to be okay. My channel might not have as many views this week. My channel might not grow as much this week, but it's going to be just fine. You know, I try not to put all of my worth on my views and my growth and all that, because it's so easy. And I'm guilty of it too. It's so easy to be like pulled into that mentality, and I'm trying to like take a step back and realize that it's really not that big of a deal. Okay, so I've went on a little tangent. So when it comes to bronzer, this is what I've been reaching for. I've been reaching for the Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow palette, and I'm actually going to use this for my eyes as well. I love this product. It was a splurge for me. I talked about it in my favorites that I had wanted it for so long, and I finally got it, and I'm so glad I did because I love it. So I've been using this Sculpt Color as my bronzer. And I'm using this brush by Rephr. So I am so excited for this brand, you guys. I'm just gonna tell you a little story while I do my bronzer. So they reached out to me, I don't know, maybe 2 months ago. And they were like, hey, you know, kind of introducing themselves. And they're like, we're 3 engineers. We had no background in makeup or anything beauty related when we started this brand. So we kind of took to YouTube last year to kind of learn, you know, what makes the perfect brush. And we started watching videos, and they came across one of my videos about brushes, and one of the owners, Tom, was like, it was so great. We learned so much from you. And it was just really complimentary, you know, and he's like, I'd love to send you some brushes and, you know, get your feedback. And, you know, I'm starting a brush line too. And so when I got that email, or when I got that message, I just kind of felt the need to share with him that I was starting a brush line too. Cause I just felt like for some reason, I just felt sneaky if I was like, oh yeah, send me your brushes. And I didn't like disclose that, cause I don't know if they would want to send me their brushes knowing that I was doing a brush line too. You know what I mean? So I told him, you know, oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much. Told him I was starting my brush line, and he responded immediately and was like, congratulations, that's so great. I'd still love to send you our brushes because I want to thank you for, you know, helping us create this. I didn't realize I helped them create it, but, and it wasn't just me, obviously it was a lot more YouTubers and makeup artists, but he was just like, I want to thank you because, you know, your videos really helped us kind of, you know, learn about makeup brushes, and I want to send them as a thank you. And he was like, congratulations on your brand. If you ever have any questions about the whole process, or we've had other companies that we've built, and he was basically like offering to help. And I was like, that's so awesome of him. Like, he still wants to send me those brushes. I thought that was just awesome that he still wanted to send them to me. So he sent me the brushes. I got their core set initially, which is so great. I actually talked about one of them in a video a couple of weeks ago, one of their eye brushes being like a good basic kind of starter eye brush. Anyway, and then a few weeks went by, and he's like, hey, I'm in the United States, like kind of meeting with different YouTubers and makeup artists, and I'd love to come to Austin and meet you. And I was like, oh my gosh. So he came to Austin, we had lunch, and he was so nice. We had such a great lunch and meeting. He was so helpful. I was like picking his brain about our whole process and learning about, and he was just like an open book, shared a lot of great information and insight to me that's helpful for me. It was one of those meetings where I just walked away from and I was like, I wanted to spend more time with him. He was really awesome. I connected him to Paul, made the connection, and he's just been so helpful. And so they just launched on Kickstarter. They're starting their production in August. So I'm gonna link their Kickstarter link down below if you're curious to check it out. I think they're doing a special if you back them with their Kickstarter. So if you're not familiar with how Kickstarter works, essentially it's basically like kind of crowdsourcing funding for your production run. So orders that are placed on Kickstarter, it's gonna go towards their production run that starts in August, and orders will be fulfilled in November. But they're offering some really awesome discounts through their Kickstarter program. So I'm gonna link it down below. I'm gonna use a few of their brushes today because I really, really like them. So I'm gonna use their 01 eye brush, and I'm gonna use this for my brow highlight. And I'm just gonna go into the Charlotte Tilbury highlight section right here, and I'm gonna pop this underneath my brow. All right, so I'm just gonna pop that right underneath my brow. I'm gonna take the same brush and I'm gonna load it up with the Sculpt color, and I'm just gonna pack this on my eyelid. I like this brush because you can use the side of it to pack the color on, and then it still has a fluffy tip, so you can use that to kind of blend out the crease. This is part of their core line, this brush here. So you can see it just gives like a kind of soft medium tone neutral to the lid. Nothing that really like stands out, but just kind of polishes the eye a little bit. I like this formula in the Charlotte Tilbury because it's so soft. It's got like the slightest little bitty sheen, nothing that you can really see when it's on the skin, but what it prevents it from looking is like dry or like super matte, powdery. It just kind of looks like a soft, creamy shadow. Okay, so I'm gonna pop that right on the eye, and then I'm just gonna go back and I'm gonna kind of blend it out into the crease. The beauty of this powder is that it is so soft that you really can, you don't have to worry about how high you take your brush to blend it out because it kind of just shears out and looks really, really natural. So next I'm gonna take this brush right here. This is also by Refer, it's the P07A. I think it's like stands for Prototype 07A, but this is part of their new line. I'm gonna take this brush. It did have a little color on it, but I'm just gonna load it up with the same color from the Charlotte Tilbury, and I'm going to work this into the crease. Now you can see that it looks a little darker. Because this brush has a nice tip to it, it kind of picks up a little bit more color and applies it directly into that crease area. So I'm just gonna go back and forth, and I'm just gonna kind of blend it up. So I don't know if you guys can tell, but I use the same color on my lid and in my crease, but in the crease it looks slightly darker, doesn't it? Now that may be from a little leftover eyeshadow that I had on this brush, but it's also from the brush. Brushes can make all the difference. Like you can use the same product, but use different brushes and you're gonna get a totally different payoff. So I wanted to show you guys that. And so that's it for eyeshadow. That's all I've been doing as far as eyeshadow. When it comes to liner, I still am going for my Kat Von D Tattoo Liquid Liner, especially when I do a really simple, basic eyeshadow look like this. I feel like this liner just completes it. Now I like to lay this liner on its side just so that I get a nice consistent line and it's not thicker or thinner in certain areas. When I get to almost the outer corner, I would say about 7/8 of the way over, I stop. And I stop following the natural line of my eye because the natural line of my eye is gonna have me pull this down, and I don't wanna pull my eyes down. So I just kind of pull it out like this to give myself that little bitty wing, and then I kind of fill it in down here to create that slight little wing effect. For my lower liner, I always use an eye pencil and then I kind of soften it with an eyeshadow. And the pencil I've been using is the Clinique Intense Aubergine eye pencil. I use this one, and I also like the Urban Decay pencil in the shade Bourbon. Those are really nice. Now I just take this about midway over. I don't take it all the way over to the inner corner of my eye. Well, for my eye shape, I'm trying to make my eyes appear a little bit larger. So if I were to run this all the way in, it would actually work against that and make my eyes look smaller. So if you have really large eyes and you want to make them look smaller, you can certainly do that. But for me, I like to kind of make them look a little bit more wide and bright. Then I'm gonna take this brush. also by Refer. This is their pencil brush. And this is really a unique pencil brush, you guys. I have a lot of pencil brushes, and it's one that I think is an essential in your brush collection. This one's a little bit softer. The hairs are a little longer than some others, so it actually has a little bit more flexibility, which I like. And I'm gonna go into the same Charlotte Tilbury Sculpt shade, and I'm just gonna go right over that eyeliner. Now you wanna do this kind of quickly after you've applied the liner. I might have even waited a little too long, just because you want to still have that eyeliner move a little bit. If it completely sets, it'll be hard to soften and smoke it out. You'll still soften it with an eyeshadow, but it's just gonna be a little bit harder. So if you can work with it while it's still creamy before it has time to totally set, then that's a bonus. Okay, so for mascara, I didn't want to come on here and say this, you guys, but this Chantecaille mascara is just amazing. I love it. And I've been using it every single day, of course. It was $72, but also because I want to see the benefits of the growth peptides in it that it has, and I want to see if that actually works. So I have been using this every single day, and I really love the way it makes the lashes look. I'm not going to curl my lashes. I'm not going to put primer. When I did my video on this mascara, a lot of you commented something that I can't believe I didn't think of in the video, which makes total sense, is if you apply primer, it's creating kind of a barrier between this product and your lashes, right? And so if you really want to get the full results of those growth peptides, it's probably best not to use a primer. And honestly, I don't think I really need a primer with this. It does take a little building, but you can get really dramatic results without a primer. So I like to kind of just coat it on the lashes pretty well, separate them, and then move on to the other side and then come back and do another coat. So that's kind of what an initial coat looks like. The mascara does look to be getting a little thick inside the tube. I'm going to show you guys that. Do you see the base of the wand? Do you see how it's kind of got that clump there at the bottom? It's a little thicker. How long have I had this? Maybe 2 weeks, a week or two? So it is definitely thickening up already. So I hope this lasts a long time. And I can see even when I open the tube, I don't know if you can see that, even when I open the tube, it's a little thicker around the base. I don't know if you can see that, but even around the tube opening, it's a little thicker. Like the product is kind of getting thicker. So I don't know if you have this, how long does it last you? I was hoping I could get 3 months out of this. I don't know if I'll be able to do that though. Okay, yeah, look at that. It's already kind of clumping, you guys. Oh, no. Okay, maybe I'm applying too much. But I've been applying this much a week ago and it was fine. So the formula definitely is starting to thicken up already, but I'm still able to separate it and get it to look nice. But yeah, this is a 2-week-old mascara, no more than 2 weeks old. And it is definitely, I can definitely tell the formula is thickening. For blush, I have been pretty obsessed with this color by Sydney Grace. It's called First Date, and it is just like the softest shimmery peach. It has a little bit of a peach tone to it, but you can see it has quite a bit of highlight and shimmer to it. Now, I usually don't like to apply a lot of shimmer on my cheeks because that's where my pores are enlarged, but this one works really nice if I use it with a brush that is really soft and fluffy. It doesn't pick up a ton, and I'm using the Wayne Goss 25S brush. I purchased this Wayne Goss brush, and then I purchased another one by him, this one right here, the 16 brush. These are my first Wayne Goss purchases, and I love them both. But I like this blush brush a lot because it is very soft and very fluffy. So I'm going to just kind of barely press it into the product and apply this right here on the cheeks. I feel like this color is so soft and summery, very pretty. Also too, depending on the foundation that you use, if you do have a lot of texture or pores on your cheek area, if you use a foundation that doesn't smooth them out, I feel like the Dior really does kind of help smooth them out. That might work against you if you're using a shimmer. So it's all about kind of pairing products with certain products. Like I might not be able to use this blush with a radiant finish foundation because I think it would maximize too much texture on my skin, but with the Dior, it works. So for lips, I've been going to my Lisa Lisa D1 collab with Christian Audette. This is the color Golden Tiger. This is my favorite of the two. So this one's a little bit lighter than the Summer, is it called Summer Nights? Yes, Summer Nights. They're both really great, like peachy nudes, but the Golden Tiger is my favorite. And I'm gonna apply this on the lips first. I did have a little bit of lip balm on my lips. I love this nude color. It's just perfect. It's not too muted. Not too orangey, not pink at all. It just gives like the lips like that really soft, peachy nude look. And then I'm gonna line my lips with the Christian Audette Lisa Lisa D1 liner. This is, they only have one liner that comes in the collab. It's called Nude Sandals. And I like to apply this after I've applied my lipstick when I'm wearing this particular lipstick because it is a bit darker than the lipstick, so I find that it blends really nicely when I apply it on top of the lipstick. And then I kind of go fill in the lips with it. And this is it, you guys. This is kind of been my go-to look lately. Very simple. I didn't use a ton of products on the eyes. I really just used this. I didn't use anything aside from this. I also use this as my bronzer. You could certainly use this to highlight. I think this is probably my favorite product purchase over the last month. It made it in my favorites video, but I think if I had to pick one product that I've been reaching for all the time, it's definitely this one. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's a little bit longer than anticipated, so if you stuck around till the end, let me know in the comment section below. Say I made it to the end. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye guys.